I want you to call in 617-779-7937. What should they do? Robert Kraft wakes up today. He listens to the season ticket holders, the Patriots fans that have been watching the team, people at home, whatever, go to the game or not. What is your instruction for how to get this Patriots team back to title contention as soon as possible? What is the biggest impediment to their success? What should be done to create a better environment for winning and to get the team back to contention? Pretty easy question.
Yeah.
Join us all morning. So,
and I think it's a pretty easy answer. You keep Bill, you get rid of the other two.
There we go. So here's the poll question at The Greg Hill Show on Twitter. It'll be on Instagram on Christmas Eve.
No, it's up.
Oh, it's up. Awesome. Yeah. What should the Patriots do? Keep Mac and Bill. Mm-hmm. Keep Bill and Matty P. Mm-hmm. Just keep Bill.
All right.
Or clean house. Okay. Where do you vote, Courtney Cox?
I just said my vote. I think
just
keep
Bill.
Just Bill.
So you just keep Bill, get rid of Mac and Matty P. Wiggy?
I'm with Courtney. I'd probably go just Bill.
So I know that it appears to be past the point of no return, but Mac Jones is under team control for 2 to 3 more years. Mm-hmm. 2 years plus the 5th-year option. And you need to resuscitate his career in some way to get some value back. It's a first-round pick. I really think you bring in competition for Mac. You use it. You trade for someone. You still, like Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever. I don't think that's my guy. That's Kent's guy. He's going to get hurt every year. But someone like that, of that ilk, where there's a fail-safe if Mac just doesn't get, if he's like Rosen and he's just not for the NFL, it's a top 10 pick you waste, he's now out of the league. Or if it's like Baker Mayfield and, the Cleveland Browns move on to Deshaun, he doesn't play well in Carolina, he's a sort of scrap heap guy. Mm-hmm. There's still the potential that you are able to build around Mac and elevate Mac the way the Dolphins elevated Tua. You bring in a coordinator like Bill O'Brien that's already worked with Mac Jones when Mac taught Billy O the offense in Alabama before he started down there. That would be what I would deem as the most financially prudent and least reactionary move that they could do. Patricia, see you later. Mm-hmm. Don't come back. You're not welcome at any of the events going forward. We'll stick this out. We'll bring someone in. It will basically be Bill O'Brien's offense.
Right.
Like it was with, like the defense was with Wade Phillips and the Rams in 2018.
But that's risky.
It is.
Reason why it's risky, because say you move on and you bring in a new offensive guy, and let's say Mac Jones struggles again under that guy. Now his value is completely basically in the basement, right? I mean, you're talking curb stomp value, dog poop value.
Right.
Whereas if you start to dangle him out there now, some teams look at it and go, well, maybe it was because of who the guy that was calling plays in the offensive coordinator.
You and I said this yesterday. I think there are a lot of teams out there that think that about Mac. And look at Josh McDaniels on Sunday and the embrace between the two of them. What do you think he was saying right then?
Right.
I miss your scent.
I'm coming to get you.
Yeah, I think that he was probably saying, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. And for Bill to stand right behind him and have to watch that embrace.
And you'd be willing to give up a little bit more because you think it was more about the coach that he had, not the player.
Right.
Whereas if you get a new offensive coordinator in here and it's somebody who people look at in the league as like, oh, this guy's a good – innovated, a person who can come up with good plays, and then you get that guy in there, and then he struggles again. Now he really has no value.
See, this is the perfect time to move on from Mac Jones. It is the absolute perfect time because you can send him to Josh, who really wants him, clearly loves the kid.
What do you think the Raiders would give up for Mac right now?
A second and a conditional other pick?
No way in hell.
Yeah,
absolutely, Josh would.
I would say
absolutely.
There's no way that Mac Jones is going to get you a second-round pick right now.
100% he could.
Yeah, I think so.
The poll question is up, and we'll get to your calls right now. Just a quick, the first results. I'm always amazed that these stay. Like, within the first 5 minutes, those results remain forever. I would love to understand how that works, but it's very interesting. 46%, number one response, keep Mac and Bill. The second most is just keep Bill, get rid of Mac. And the third is clean house with 22%. Matty P getting only 2% of the vote.
Yeah, because I still think there's a good amount of people that maybe think like, okay, if Mac has something, if you can get somebody in here that's creative and that's an offensive guy, that can help him out. So I think there's still a group of people, but I think that group is starting to completely move away because of some of the antics that they see from him.
Totally true. Coming up next, by the way, after Courtney's trending and after these calls, we have a social media situation brewing with the New England Patriots, and it is going to get ugly. I said on Sunday, right after the game, this is going to get real ugly real quick, and Mylanta, it's headed that way. We'll get to that. But first, let's get back to your calls. Chris in Boston. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. Just, once again, defending my man right there, Mac. I mean, when you play as good as he did last year, it's hard to not be frustrated, not start to show those emotions over the course of the season when the system has failed him. You know what I mean? Like, his coaching staff has failed him. And I see Robert Kraft doing what he did when Bill drafted Mac and kind of forcing Bill's hand. The whispers that was going on and around about how Bill never drafts a quarterback that high and how there's reports that Robert Kraft kind of stepped in and said, hey, like, we're doing it this way. Like, I gave you all this money to spend on all these players, now we're doing it this way. I think we're going to start seeing Bill's powers slowly become diminished the more these years start to compound on top of, his last success. Because, like Wiki would say, like, there's no way we're firing Bill, all this other stuff. But it gets to the point where how many years, how much leeway do you have based off past performances does Bill get? You know what I mean?
I think he gets a lot, Chris. I think because he's won 6 Super Bowls. Like, it'd be one thing if he only won 1 Super Bowl and maybe got to a couple NFC championship games, even maybe lost in another Super Bowl. But because he's won 6, right, and then took you to 2 more?
3 more.
No, I'm saying.
They lost 3 Super Bowls, 2 to the Giants, 1 to the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Completely forgot about that. So 3 more Super Bowls.
You lost one of them.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. He's won a total of 6 because it's so many.
Right.
And he's lost 3 with the Patriots. There's no way that Robert looks at that and goes, this guy has gotten me to 9 Super Bowls. The franchise
but Wiggy, everything that this organization is predicated upon is about future performance, not past success.
Right, but this is unprecedented. Unprecedented when you think about a coach.
How about 76 and 83 without a certain quarterback? And that quarterback's not coming back. 10 full seasons, 1 playoff win.
I don't know how much they view it that way.
Okay, but I would if that were my organization.
Right, but that's you. But you have more of an infatuation for Brady than they do.
Well, how could that be possible? He won 6 Super Bowls.
Because they let Brady walk.
Well, that's the truth. But if you're sitting here today, I believe Robert Kraft is a smart, analytical man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking at what this team has become in less than 3 full seasons, where you have infighting, public issues, decline on offense, disaster with the offensive coaching staff. You lead the NFL with non-offensive touchdowns, but you can't score a touchdown on offense. This is not where he envisioned the team to be 2.5 years ago. And so why are we here? How did we get here? How do we move away from here? That's what I would be asking.
Right. But I think once Kraft, he made his decision. His decision was, I'm going with Bill. Right? Mm-hmm. That was his decision. So he put more emphasis on what Bill did than Tom did. It's a great line from a great movie, which none of you guys have probably seen except for me, which is the Mac.
Air Bud?
No, it's the Mac, the 1970s pimp movie, when Goldie says to Pretty Tony, hey, listen, yo bitch chose me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I did not know it was headed there. Good point.
In this situation, Robert Kraft chose Bill Belichick.
Right.
That simple. And so he's not then a year, 2, 3, 4 years later going to say, I am now moving on from Bill Belichick when this is the guy that I hitched my wagon to, that put up the 6 banners, that got me to 9 championships, that I chose over Tom Brady.
Today, are the Patriots closer to a Super Bowl than the day Brady left?
No.
So what are we doing?
But it's he
made such a stamp of approval on Bill in that moment,
yes,
that to just this quickly after part ways with him and give him the chance to go somewhere else like Brady did and show us up.
Right.
that would be an absolute end to an unbelievable legacy the Krafts have made for themselves.
And Courtney, that's a great point because he's already messed up because once he let Brady go, Brady then went out there and had success.
Right.
So now if you move on from Bill and Bill then goes out there and has success, yes, you are still a great owner, but you're a great owner that made two of the dumbest mistakes in sports history.
Right.
Well, I have to credit the Patriots because even when they're bad, they're fascinating.
Yeah.
I am so enthralled with how this is all going to play out between now and the end of the season and then how the offseason goes.
But you know what, Curtis, is interesting? Is like we're sitting here, they're really not bad in the sense of when you think, like when I think of bad, it's like, 3-11, 3-12.
The Texans right now.
Yeah, they're still and this is what makes them great. They're bad in how we see them, but they're bad, but they still have a chance to get there.
That's true, but they have become a punchline nationally. That performance Sunday night was a new low.
No, I agree. I agree with you there, but the problem is what frustrates me as a fan is you're not bad enough where I can just completely crap on you and say,
Right.
This is it, I'm moving on.
They're in purgatory. They're just sort of middling.
You still tease me enough
Right.
to think that,
They are a referee's decision away from being 8-6 and in the playoffs. And instead we have the most embarrassing play in the
or
history of the
stupid
franchise.
laterals from at least having an opportunity
Right.
to be 8-6.